I have been away, but I actually was sick with the sinus infection and I could not talk. I was trying to think of something where I could just like show you guys and not really talk, but you know, I like to do a little quick introduction, say hello, how's everybody? Anyway, I actually was going to post a video and be like, I'm sick, but I'm like, who really wants to see that? Because trust me, you don't want to see me when I'm sick. It's just as bad when I wake up in the morning before I put on the makeup. Ugh. Anyway, I'm so excited because no sooner than I put out that video, the last video regarding how I crochet with arthritis, do you know I had the worst flare up for like 2 days? I did a little bit of crocheting, but I was slowed down, and that's what I was talking about. But hey, it's all good. It doesn't matter, because when y'all see what I have been working on for you, yo, I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. So let's get started. Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this outdoor patio furniture pillow. I'm calling this my Nautical seaside pillow, and that's only because that is the name of this red, white, and blue yarn. Okay, it is actually called Nautical, this color. This type of yarn is the Bernat Maker Home Decor yarn. Okay, if any of you who have worked with this, you know basically this is like a t-shirt type yarn. Okay, it is a bulky 5. Okay, recommended hook size is an L, but I did use a size J for this project. Okay, there are approximately 317 yards in this. For this color, which is called Nautical, okay, I use pretty much the whole entire skein. I might have had maybe like enough left to do maybe 3 more rows of this side, and then this other side, which is this label, this is simply called this color. Let's see what this is. I want to just say it's called cream. Did I miss it? There it is. It's upside down. Right, cream. That's all it is. So I bought both of mine from Amazon. Okay, I do know that at one time Joann's used to carry it. I have not seen it in Joann's for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now. But you can get this straight from Amazon. I would say that I think I caught mine on sale, or depending on the seller who was selling it, I might have paid, I believe it was like $9.99 a skein, you know, which is about right, because I think that's what Joann's used to sell it for. A lot of people thought it was discontinued. It's not discontinued. You go on to Amazon, or remember, this Bernat is by Yarnspirations. You can go to yarnspirations.com or redheart.com, being that Yarnspirations, I believe, either bought them out or partnered with Red Heart. Nevertheless, it can be found on the internet. You don't have to use this t-shirt yarn, but if you've used it before, like I said, it is like a t-shirt yarn. And just so that you can see this, come on, focus, 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 focus. There you go. You see that? It's like a bungee. Oh God, look, I see the bumps in my nail polish. It's like a bungee cord type yarn. Okay, so it is fun, super fun to work with. It's very flexible. It's very different, and it makes nice like pillows, or maybe a basket, or like I've seen a lot of people make like cat beds, you know, beds for their dogs and their cats, and it's just nice. It's a really different, I don't know if I would consider that a novelty yarn, but nevertheless. So this project is very easy. It is done in a stitch called the feather stitch, and that's what I'm going to be showing you today. The other thing that I would recommend is, not only did I use a size J hook, If you have any hooks like this, okay, with this long neck, okay, I would suggest that you get that hook. And when I teach you this stitch, you're going to see why this kind of long neck hook is going to be great for this particular project doing this stitch, okay? So you don't have to, again, use this yarn, but I'm going to recommend if you're going to put this outside, I'm going to recommend that you use this yarn. I am going to do a small swatch to teach you how to do the feather stitch before we actually get into the details of how we're going to complete this pillow. So remember, the feather stitch is done in multiples of 2s. There are tutorials that will say do multiples of 2s plus 1. I do multiples of 2s plus 2. I have seen it done both ways, okay? I don't want to get into the mathematics of why some people do it in, you know, with a plus 1 or a plus 2. I just know that I do it in a plus 2, okay? So I am going to make a chain of 16. You will need to do your foundation chain to match the length of your, not the length, the width of your pillow insert. So again, I did a 12 by 12. And then I just stretched it out and measured it against the pillow. You might be doing a 16 by 16, whatever the width of your pillow is. Go ahead, make your foundation chain, measure it up against the pillow, okay? And remember, keep it in multiples of 2s, okay? So we're going to start. I'm actually going to do 18, okay? And once you have your chain, you are going to go into the second stitch, okay? Skip the first stitch, go into the second, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, okay? And go through all 3. And for my newbies, this is what you call a half double crochet, okay? Again, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, go through all 3. Again, that's a half double crochet. And I want you to continue this all the way down to the very end of your chain and meet me back here, okay? Okay, so once you got all the way down to the end of your chain with your half double crochets, okay, you will then turn your work. You're going to chain up 1, and then you're going to go right back into that very same stitch where you chained up 1. You are going to put in 1/2 double crochet into that very first stitch. Okay? You are then going to chain 1, and you're going to skip the next stitch and put in a half double crochet in the following stitch. Okay, that is what we're going to do for this row. We are setting it up for the feather stitch. Chain 1, skip a chain, and go into that next stitch. And do your half double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, go into your next stitch with a half double crochet. You will go through all the way to the very end and meet me back here. Get to the end, okay, you have 2 stitches left, okay? You just did your last half double crochet right here. You chained 1. You skip this one, and it's going to go into the top of the turning chain, right? So this is the reason why some people say, no, it's do 2, multiples of 2s, and do plus 1. But I say do multiples of 2s plus 2 because before when I was doing it, I would have all of this left over because this will be my last one. I was like, no, something's wrong. It just didn't make sense to me, okay? So after you did your half double crochet, okay, and you chained 1, you skip that stitch, and you will put a half double crochet right here at the very top of your turning chain. Okay, and guess what? It looks a little something like this. Okay, so now we turn. We are going to chain one, and you are going to, now pay attention, you're going to put a half double crochet, not in the chain space, but in that first stitch. Okay, right here, 1/2 double crochet. Okay, and now you are going to chain one again. You will yarn over, and now here we go. You go through the space, pull up a loop, yarn over. You are going to go in the stitch below that space, in the stitch, come around the back, pull up a loop and pull it nice and tall, yarn over, and now you go next door to that chain space, insert, pull up a loop, and guess what? Count the amount of loops you have on your hook. You should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now you're going to yarn over and pull through all 7 loops, and you will close it off by chaining 1. There's your first feather stitch. It's not hard. We just need to take our time and focus. Again, yarn over, go right back into that same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go below, insert hook, pull up a loop nice and tall, yarn over, go next door, pull up a loop. And how do you know you are done? By counting the number of loops you have on your hoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry. Come on, camera focus. And then you yarn over and say, yay. Close it up. Seal the deal with a single crochet. Again, you will always know that wherever you ended in that last chain space, you start in that chain space. So you yarn over, go back into that chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in the stitch below your chain space that you're working in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go next door. Hey, can I borrow some of your space? You count your loops if you need to. You see the 7, yarn over, pull through all 7, seal the deal with a single crochet. Yarn over, go into that chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go below in your chain space, go to that bottom stitch, pull up a loop, nice and tall, yarn over, go next door to borrow some space, pull up a loop. Hi, I see 7, seal the deal with 1, yarn over, go back in that chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the stitch below, pull up a loop, nice and tall, yarn over, go next door, borrow some space. You got 7 on your hook, and now you got, and see, look, yarn over, hold on, because I want to make a point here. Oh, see, I'm struggling. Okay, pull through all, and then seal the deal with the same. Now you guys see what I was talking about when I was talking about having a longer head, because when you get all 7 loops on there, you want, this is just me, you want some space. Now I love clover hooks because y'all know I have problems with my hands. This is a nice, don't laugh at me, ergonomic hook. So, you know, so I tend not to use these kind of hooks, I mean, for long projects, okay? But I need a hook with a long neck because you're going to have all these loops on there. And I feel limited. I feel limited right now, but I'll be okay because I'm just showing you guys how to do the feather stitch. Again, yarn over into that same space that you just did your last, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into that stitch below, pull up a loop nice and tall, yarn over, go into your next door chain space, yarn over, and pull through all 7. Seal the deal with a chain 1. Again, yarn over, go into that same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go below into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go into that last chain space, pull through all 7, seal the deal with 1 chain, and now you're in that last space. So guess what we're going to do? After you chain your 1, you are just going to put 1/2 double crochet into the top of that turning chain, or basically into the top of the half double crochet below. And this is what it excuse me, this is what it begins to look like. Now I know you're saying that looks a hot mess. No, it might just be because of the colors of the yarn. You can't really see it right now, but I promise you we're going to do a couple more stitches and I'm going to stick by your side. Okay? Right. So we are going to turn our work. All right. When you turn your work, you simply chain 1 and you do the same repeat. And now it's going to get even easier because now it's going to be easier for you to go into that space below. Okay. You will put 1/2 double crochet into the first stitch, chain 1, and now you are going to begin the feather stitch again. You will yarn over, go into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and before we had to do in the stitch, but now look, well, you got a space. So you go into that space below, pull up a loop, nice and tall, yarn back over, go into the next chain space, right? You have your 7 on there and you go through. Seal the deal with a chain 1. Yarn over, go back into the same space, yarn over, go into the space below, the space. This is why I say it gets easier. Yarn back over, go next door into that space. You have your 7, pull through 7, chain 1, to seal the deal. Yarn over, go into your space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the space below that space, pull up a loop nice and tall, find your next space. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go through all 7 and seal the deal. Yarn over in the chain space, yarn over in the space below, okay? Pull up a loop, yarn over, go back into, or go next door into that chain space, and you have 7, yarn over, pull through all 7, and seal the deal with a single crochet, okay? Same space, go below that space, pull up a loop, next door space, which is not the last space, go through all 7. Okay, we are almost at the end, so we are going to do one more feather stitch, yarn over, go back into that same space you just ended, go below, yarn over, and then there's one chain space at the end. You are going to go into that space, pull up a loop, and complete your last feather stitch by closing it off with a single crochet. And remember, when you get to the end, we are just simply going to put in a half double crochet into the end. Okay, now it's starting to come together. You see it now? I know it's some wacky colors, so I'm going to do one more row with you. Okay, so we are at the end. You turn your work. You will chain one. Okay, that chain one doesn't count as anything. You want to put a half double crochet into the stitch, not the space, that first stitch, a half double crochet, and you chain one. Now you begin in your chain spaces. Yarn over, go into that chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the chain space below the chain space. Pull up a loop nice and tall. Okay, yarn over, go next door, borrow some space, pull up a loop. You now have 7. Go through all 7, seal the deal with a kiss by chaining 1. Okay, again, yarn over, go into that chain space, yarn over, go into the bottom chain space, yarn over, go into that space next door, pull through all 7, seal the deal with a kiss, 1 single crochet, yarn over, into that chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the chain space below. Ooh, it came out. Hold on. And below, pull it up real tall, chain space next door, pull up a loop, have 7 on there, confirmation, pull through all 7, seal the deal, chain up 1. Okay? So make your piece as big as you need to, okay? And then I'm going to meet you back here. You are going to continue to work that row. Remember, every time you get down to that last one, right, where you had completed your last chain space, you will just simply end by doing 1 double crochet. And if you need to, just rewind a little bit so you can see how to end and how to begin. But from that point on, it's so simple. And this is the one where you can put on a movie and just go to town with it. So I'm going to let you work your panel to as big as you need to get it, and then we can begin basically forming our pillow or doing the closure. Okay, so have at it, and I'll see you back here in a little bit. And so this is my tiny little swatch that I have worked up for you. Okay, and that's what it begins to look like, the feather stitch. Now, again, I know these are some ratchet colors, but you did see that pillow. So now the next step we're going to do is talk about this pillow, okay, and how to close it up. Okay. So once you've got the amount of rows that you need to fit the pillow insert that you chose, if you chose a 12 by 12, what I ended up doing, don't ask me why, because I did not do the same amount of rows for both colors. So here for my nautical color, I have a total of 24 rows. And then I did a total of 26. Look how big it is. 26 rows, right, for the cream. Okay. So when you end, you're probably, if your tail is on this side, this right here is the wrong side. So I'm going to flip this over. Well, actually, I'm just going to go like this. We're going to go ahead and fold it. And now we're on the right side. Your work is on the right side. Yep. I think, oh my God, that is so hard to tell. Which side looks better? I really can't tell which side looks better. You know what? I think this side looks better. Y'all think so? Yep, let's do this side. So it really is up to you. You can't, with this particular stitch and these colors, you really can't tell. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to work this side around the top, and then when I get to this corner, before I continue, that's when I'm going to insert my pillow and then continue to stitch it up here. And I'm just doing that because it's going to be a little bit easier. So I'm not going to do this whole thing on camera because of the fact that, as you can see how big it is, it's hard for me to fit this in. So I am going to get started. And what you will have to do, right, you will definitely need to cut your yarn at some point, because you don't want to start sewing it together down here and then get up here and then look, maybe it doesn't line up or something, right? We're going to put both corners together and then work across the top and then work around the side. And when we get down to this corner, we will cut it and then we'll have to come back over and then we can flip it and then work down. You got it? Okay, so grab whatever color. Now, if you did yours in a two-tone like I did, one side is one color and then the next one, it really does not matter which color you choose to edge it, because remember, it is just, I mean, it's going to only accent. Can I say that? It's going to make the other side pop. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to do in cream. And what I'm going to do is stick my hook through both corners, and I'm actually going to tuck my tails in. I'm going to grab the color yarn that I'm going to do my edging with. We're going to pull up a loop. I'm then going to yarn over and pull up a loop, get that hooked on, and then tuck that tail in if you can. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I am not going to do a slip stitch across. I'm going to bind mine up with a single crochet. I don't want to do a sewing needle. I'd rather just do single crochet in every stitch up at the top. So I started sewing up this side, right? And I did the top. See how that stitching is? Look at that. Right? And then I stuffed my my pillow insert in. And so now I'm going to close this side up. So I'm going to show you the stitch that I did now. So this is going to be tricky because the pillow's nice and fat. It's so plumpalicious. So I got to figure out how I can do this where you guys can see exactly what I did, how I did it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So again, let's see. Because we got to start at the bottom, because I'm going to, if I flip it over and then start, then it's going, you see how these chains are at the top? If I flip it over and go down, it's going to be on the wrong side. So we want to match it up. So we got to start here and do your best to keep it lined up. This is going to be super tricky. Okay, I'm going to kind of like fold this, stick my hook in between, like underneath those first sets of yarns, and then connect it right there. Okay, can you see that? How I did that? Yeah. And then take my yarn and pull up a loop. Okay, tuck that tail in. Okay. Chain one. And then from here, what we're going to do is, how I did this is, I just kind of had to feel my way, like, okay, here's your first top. I just put it under the first layer of stitches, and then under the second one. You see how it's two loops? That's the back panel. Pull through and single crochet. Okay, I'm gonna do it again, don't worry, because I know y'all was just like, what just happened? This is super tricky, because you can close your pillow up with a needle, right, and do a whip stitch, but I just didn't like the way the whip stitch looked. So again, because I have two different colors, it's very easy for me. You see how you just got those first two loops right there? I'm just going to go underneath those two red loops right there, right? Grab my other end and, oh, and then go on the underneath the 2 loops from the cream. I'm sorry, let me get it together. That's why I said I'm going to stick with it. Stick with you guys, because I am really trying to talk through this. It's so hard to do this right now, to kind of show you, because you're going to, you know, you're probably sitting there because you can't really see the defined stitches, right? You can't really see that. So basically it's one of those situations that if you're going to crochet, if you're going to close your pillow up by doing single crochets, this is what you're going to have to battle with, because we did not put an edging, like we didn't go around our whole entire piece with a single crochet, which I thought about doing that, and I actually did it, and I had to pull it out because then it just looked crazy. But oh god, how can I say this? However you choose to close it up, if you're going to do a whip stitch, you still would have to kind of use your best judgment to find your edges so that it makes it nice and neat. So again, just keep watching what I'm doing. Single crochet. You don't want to put too many of them in. It's almost like you're going to figure out, oh, I need to put one here. There you go. And then moving right along underneath those 2 red loops right there, grab that back. Now the back is a little bit easier, it's more defined because you're going to put it underneath the 2 white loops. And drop your loop and single crochet. Okay, you're going to go under that blue loop and then the back white loop. Oops, wait a minute, hold up. Because you just don't want to get one, you want to get 2 blue, sorry, 2 blue and 2 white. See? Single crochet. And you see how they're evenly spaced out now? Okay. I'm going to do that again with you. Let me see if I can turn this over and just kind of bend it. That might be easier. There we go. Again, underneath the 2 red, then the 2 white loops right up at the top. Pull through, single crochet. Go under 2 loops under that gray, 2 loops under that white, pull through, single crochet. And you just want to keep checking it. So there you go, you got them nice and like little teeth, just going down the line. Pull it together, keep it nice and tight. I'm going to go under 2 of those red loops and then under 2 of the white in the back. Pull up a stitch. Ooh, this is hard. Just watch me. And I won't lie to you, I actually before I turned on the camera, I had to keep playing around to see if I was going to do a slip stitch, you know, which looked neater. Two loops. Oh, God, the red. Here we go. This is tricky. Okay, here we go. A gray, 2 gray, and then under 2 white, and which is in the back. I think as you start to work this, you realize it's like you just get a feel for where, like how far, you know, where you need to go next. And I just keep checking it, and I'm just like, okay, okay, okay. It's still looking good there. Two loops. Oh. Oh. 2 loops right there, and then 2 loops right there. single crochet. I had to start my camera again. Hold on, let me make sure we're in focus here. We're almost at the finish line. Okay. So again, you want to go under, you can see that, at least 2 of your colored loops. And it is so tricky. Go here, there you go, on the front, and then somehow 2 in the back. Like I said, I can't lie to you guys and tell you this was the part that I hated the most. Which is why some people would say this is why you want to do an edging of a single, like go back around your whole entire square with a 1 row of single crochets all the way around, and then try to close it up, because it'll be easier for you to find your, you know, you'll know where to put your stitches in. I just do like maybe 2 or 3, and then I'll stop, check, see what it looks like. If anything looks suspicious, I'll pull it out and start all over again. Like right now, we're about to stop for a minute. See, it's still looking good, because right around here is more white, so it looks kind of crazy, but it's still looking nice and neat. You can see those rows. We're almost there. And if you guys think you got it and you want, hey Ruby, look, I looked over to the side, there's Ruby. Oh, y'all can't see. Ruby. And if you do this pattern, please leave in the comments below, right? If you attempt to do this, tell me how you went about closing up your pillow. I'm just curious, you know, because like I said, I have an open mind. We're learning together, right? And I want someone to tell me or suggest an easier way, you know. Trust me, this won't be the last pillow that I make. It's not the first and it won't be the last. And I would like to know, like, you know, hey, somebody can say, hey, Shania, why don't you try this way? Why don't you try that way? I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Ugh, because I am struggling. I am struggling, folks. Woo! And you know how you see that finish line? You like, oh yeah. You try not to get sloppy. You know, you try not to rush, because that's when you get sloppy. You just want it to be over. See? That's sloppy. You see how big that gap is compared to, look. That's sloppy. Pulled that last stitch out because it was too far apart. Okay. Probably should have went somewhere in here. Here we go. I got a little bit too happy there. Ugh. I'm so almost at the finish line, y'all. And I don't know if y'all remember, but I forgot what stitch I was doing. Remember when I talked about having a pointy head? See, this is when you want a nice pointy head to really dig into these stitches. Because if you've ever worked with Bernat homemaker yarn, it is a t-shirt yarn. It's very unique. I like to describe it as a soft bungee cord type material. And here's the tail. We're just going to go ahead and tuck that little guy in right at the edge, tuck them inside. Ugh. And then close them up. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh God, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, it's like a soft bungee cord, so you know, it's, again, It's a different type of fabric, and you don't want like a round. I could never work with a round head. I need that pointy head so I can really dig in there into the stitches. Because this yarn is not going to split, that's for sure. And trust me, you see I'm struggling with this. Imagine if I had some round head hook. Oh my God. I would have just fell out on the camera. Woo! And I think we're actually at the end. Look at that. And I just want to make this look neat, so I'm just going to go right here into this big hole right here. And then kind of come around. Oh, that tail popped right back out. That's okay. We can fix that. I'm going to dig here. Oh, God. Dig here, right there. And then do a slip stitch. Shoo! Y'all have no idea. Oh, cut this. Let's end this. Let's end this right now. Oh. Okay. Ugh. Oh, that was brutal. It was brutal at the end, y'all. It was so brutal. I'm gonna pull this through like this. Do my little magic right here. You can do magic. Boop, boop, boop. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. Boop. Ugh. I'm so mad, y'all. I just want this to be over with because the pillow itself, I'm like excited. I want to be done. Look. Dang it. Oh. Snip that one. Okay. Shoo! Holy moly donut shop. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's nice and plump. Hold on. Ooh. Yes. Now, the thing about my pillow, oh my God, is how big it is. Look, I'm trying. So as you can see, is that my okay. Ooh, there we go. My pillow is super duper. It's 12 by 12, and as you can see, there's some empty space in there, but I think that's okay. If you, before you close it up and you feel like, oh, I might have made my panel too big, you can always put fiber stuffing inside your panel with the pillow. Okay, I have a ton of fiber stuffing, but I'm okay with this. I'm okay. Oh, let's cut this off too. All right, it is, whoa, look at that. Let's zoom out even more. I mean, this material is good for patio furniture, home deco furniture, because of the fact that, well, it's good with water, you know, and sitting outside, I guess. It's just the material. I'm so tired, y'all. But I promise, I have been working diligently on this. The stitch itself was fun. It did get a little tiring because it did bother my hands, just because of how heavy the yarn can feel at times when you're trying to do this kind of a dense stitch. That's what the word I'm looking for, dense. And so I did stop a lot, but I think that you all will enjoy this stitch. And then look, and you flip it over and look, it's two-tone. Da-da! It's, oh my God, look at that. It's just cute. It is cute. Yep, I'm going to keep flipping it over. So, yep, that's it. So, there you have it. You know what? I was on the last frame, okay? And I was so happy when I was editing this video. And then it dawned on me like, damn, I just was just like, that's it. And I was just like, wait a minute, I have no outro. No outro. So I was just like, oh no. So I literally had to stop editing so I can make my outro and say what I say all the time. Like, if you like what you saw here today, hit that subscribe button. And underneath the little subscribe button, hit that little bell so you can get all the notifications for my next video. And then I also forgot to say, look in the description box for where I got the supplies. There will be links. And also I forgot to say, hey, thank you for the people who have subscribed. Thank you for supporting me. I'm so happy to bring you content. I'm happy if you just want to sit here and you just want to look at me act a fool, okay? When I was sick last week, I was so scared because I was thinking to myself, these people are going to be like, she made like 7 videos and then she left, and people, you got to stay on top of your game because there's a whole bunch of other people out there doing what I'm doing. So I was just like, oh no. And I was freaking out, man. I was freaking out. And I was just like, look, I have worked really hard for the people who have subscribed to my channel. I work a lot of hours in corporate America, and I actually will exhaust myself just to make sure that I try to put out a video every single week and that I am consistent, for you guys. So, I mean, that's the name of the game. And not to mention, I just like making videos for y'all because it makes me feel like I'm starting to have like a little, little circle, a little bit of fam out there, a little bit of internet fam. Is that a phrase? Oh, damn it. I'm sounding just like them people from the Progressive commercial where they be like, don't become your parents. That's so embarrassing. Anyway, if my dad is watching this, he's probably like, oh my gosh, Cheyenne, wrap it up. She's rambling. And he's probably thinking, just think that when you were born, I couldn't wait for you to start talking. Now he's probably like, oh my God, and she won't stop. Hi, Daddy. But anyway, I also have another video, okay? I wanted to let you know that Ruby stepped up her game. She actually filled in for me while I was sick. She did a little recording, and now I don't think we're going to see, after this video that I'm about to show y'all, I don't think we're going to see any more from Ruby for a hot second because she feels like, look, I stepped up to the plate, I laced up my boots. So there you go. Don't ask me for another favor. But anyway, seriously, thanks again for stopping by. Let me know what you think about this tutorial in the comments. And please, I won't get offended if there's anything that you think that I could have done better. And I'm talking about for my, my seasoned crocheters. Don't be a newbie and be like, you need to do this because you're still learning. But I'm being serious. I welcome everyone's criticism, especially from the yarn or the knitting and the crocheting community, because I really want to grow and be better at this. Okay, and we can all have fun doing this together. Okay, all right, so now this is my outro, and remember, you can do magic. Boop. See you guys.